Even in an era of high-profile climate protests, it is perhaps the most audacious yet. This time Greenpeace, scaling the Prime Minister's own home and unrolling their views of his backing for more drilling for oil and gas in the North Sea.
We don't take actions lightly. We plan meticulously. Our activists are very well trained. But at the end of the day, it was the Prime Minister who stood up in Scotland this week as the world is burning and said he wants to max out North Sea oil and gas. That was his personal decision. And millions of people around this country, hundreds of millions of people around the world, are going to directly feel the impact of that in very personal ways.
So there they sat. The Prime Minister wasn't at his constituency home while this was going on. It was left to his deputy visiting a wind farm plant to condemn the protest.
Can you stop the stupid stunts? Actually, what they want to see from government is action. That's what you're seeing here today. The world's largest offshore wind farm being built right here, creating jobs. But at the same time, we're going to need, in the coming decades, oil and gas as part of our energy mix.
After 6 hours on the roof and their message clearly delivered, the protesters packed up and began the slow process of getting themselves and their equipment down. Waiting for them, police, an arrest on suspicion of causing criminal damage and public nuisance.
The protesters began their climb at 6 o'clock this morning, but it wasn't until 8 o'clock that police were alerted. Even with the Prime Minister thousands of miles away on a family holiday, it raises some security questions about just how easy it was for the protesters to get onto the roof of the Prime Minister's house.
I think we could see others actually copying it, maybe not in the same elaborate way, but feeling that the homes of MPs are targets. And I'm afraid that we've seen too much in the past. For example, the attacks on MPs like Joe Cox and others, which are really serious. So these things have to be taken seriously.
But it seems they're determined to continue. The Prime Minister says he is committed to reaching net zero, but in a proportionate and pragmatic way. That clearly isn't enough for some, and the debate is now very close to home. Greg Milam, Sky News, North Yorkshire.